pepperoni, cheese. Okay.
Coconut water.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just.
Okay, I'll just
start.
start. So we're talking about, is Harry Styles gay? What if I just fucking eat shit, bro? Ooh, water, you can hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really cold. Hello.
I want to believe in your words.
That's not your name, Valley. All this calculus, she gonna get it, gonna make her happen to the Liberty Bell.
I feel like I'm getting sick, and instead of just laying down and relaxing, I'm like, no, it would be a great idea to rearrange my room.
That's gonna be it. Thank you.
Okay, this is not an official room tour, but I'm just really enjoying my time in my room right now, so I wanted to show you what is happening. Okay, so we kind of have a messy bed situation here. Those are my pajamas that I'm about to put on. That is the notebook that I'm currently using. I love my sheets. I don't know if you know this, but one of my passions is actually bedding. Oh, forgot that I looked like this. Yeah, one of my passions is bedding. So let me tell you about my bedding here. You know what? I'm gonna change the lights just for this. So that's a sateen blush pink cover. And then this is more of like a sand beige. Then we got the mattress topper and a nice cream linen. Then we also have a linen duvet cover on my down duvet. This is like a moss green color. And then down here, it's my favorite part, a pink linen, and I really like the way that it looks with the green. I love it. I really do love it. This is kind of like an unofficial room tour, perhaps. My nightstand over here, we got some Ram Dass, an Anais Nin book that I am reading with my amethyst, because when I originally got into crystals, I was very into amethyst because of the deep sleep properties, so I always keep them near my pillow. We got a little cat friend, of course. These have been in my family forever. I saw some childhood videos of me recently, and these were in the living room, so we have had these in our family for a long, long time. Got my prayer beads on the closet door. We got a little IKEA lamp situation. I love this lamp. I don't really love that that is there. We got my yoga mat, this candle that I've been burning. My friend Katie just got me this book that I am so happy about. She got me an Aya Takano book. I have my floral color guide for my floral design under there. And then this candelabra here. Please let me know what to do because I never know what to do when my candles get to this point in the candle holder. I know you're just supposed to kind of like scrape them out, I guess, but is there an easier way that I don't know of to just get these out? This is kind of like my little altar space here. I have all my little things in there like candles, incense lighters. I've kind of cleaned it up a bit. I used to have more on here, but I just have my candle. This bouquet that I just made, I'm liking the texture with the yellow roses. This is just where I keep some extra jewelry. This is actually my grandmother's perfume bottle right here. I get a lot of my taste in things from her, I think, just because, like, look at that. It has a white little kitty, it has little bows, and it still has her perfume in it, which is really special to me, and it smells like her. This is actually really sweet. This is a postcard that has a letter that my dad wrote to my mom. It was hanging in my room forever, and I didn't ever notice that it actually... Oh, there's candle wax. But I never actually realized that it came apart. Like, it was just on my wall like this. And then one day it just fell open, and I found this beautiful letter that he had written her a long time ago. But I'll just keep that there because I don't feel like getting that candle wax off, so we're just gonna cover it up. Yeah, and then I just have my little perfumes. I have quite a few other ones scattered in my bags that I use more on a daily basis that I want to put here. And this little rose prism. Oh, and this is my grandmother's mirror that is very special to me as well. This is a fun glass candle holder that I need to put somewhere else. I guess I could put it up here. I just don't really want to crowd the space. I don't know. I need to do something with that. We're going to do some reorganizing to my room soon. Anyways, all of these books are going to go on shelves pretty soon on the wall. Right now, I just have a Valfrey tapestry thing. I think that's how you say her name, Valfrey. But I want to put some floating shelves and maybe like a lantern situation and then have the floor space. I have a meditation cushion that I might want to put here. This is sort of ugly right here, but I just keep the stuff that I work on like a daily basis right there. My books that I'm currently reading, and then my journals are right there. I am writing a love letter for Valentine's Day and having a little glass of red wine, listening to some of my favorite music. And I just made these bouquets that I'm so happy about, and I'm having a ball. Just wanted to show you that and give you a little unofficial room tour. My room is going to be changing up quite a bit soon, and I'm going to be filming the process. I guess maybe this is like a before room tour, before the transformation I'm going to do. We'll see. That's where I'm hanging out right now. Creating routine in my life helped improve my art. Why is that? I used to just wait on inspiration. I would wait until I had some great idea. And it wasn't until I left my full-time job of project management and executive work and basically managing somebody else, I learned there can be so many genius ideas in this world, but that genius can only really be carried out when properly managed throughout the execution process. Like, there needs to be that bridge to reality. I was reading a chapter in Women Who Run with the Wolves recently, talking about the animus, like in Jungian psychology, and how the animus is kind of that. When I say masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about men and women. I'm referring to the energies that we all have. The masculine energy is kind of that more rigid structure, physical, more disciplined energy. And then the feminine energy is that more creative, juicy, relaxed. That energy can't necessarily be used for good if it doesn't have the container of the masculine energy. That animus that I was reading about is kind of like the bridge where those ideas are able to come to life, right? And I found myself when I was the least inspired and the most depressed because I wasn't creating anything. I have to be making art in order to feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose in life. I have to be bringing the ideas I have in my head to life, or else I just feel kind of worthless just leaving everything up here. And so I realized that I can't just sit there and wait for inspiration to strike. I have to find a way to create routine or structure that will pull the ideas and the creations out of me and bridge them into the real world. I'm not saying that I necessarily can force myself to create something. Like, no, of course, like, it naturally happens. It's a natural process. But everything that contributes to my writing, it comes from me and my brain and my heart and my feelings, and that needs to be properly managed in order for it to live and exist outside of myself. It took me a while, and it really was like a strenuous process to figure out what routine or what is gonna help me do that. How can I make a living off of my art if I can't even consistently make things that I'm proud of? Like, I don't want to be waiting on this inspiration. I don't want to be making something once in a blue moon that I'm proud of, or saying, oh, I don't have enough time. No, how can I take the ideas that I have or produce more ideas and bring them to life and be proud of those creations? How can I do that? So creating structure in my life was kind of the answer. It's a contradicting idea, discipline and creativity. Like, they just don't necessarily coincide, but I learned that in order to reach the level of whatever I define success to be in my art, I had to make them exist together. When do I feel the most creative? Was the first question I asked myself. And I kind of had trouble answering that at first. So then I thought, okay, when do I feel the least creative? When I feel writer's block, like, what is happening? And I realized it's whenever I'm stressed, whenever I feel rushed, whenever I feel like my brain is cluttered with a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of to-dos going on. And that means creating enough space and time to think or process my feelings. If I want to write anything, I have to think, get thoughts out, I have to journal, I have to cater to that muscle. So I realized, okay, if I want to create more time, I have to wake up earlier. And there are some people that like to wake up early. I don't. If it was up to me, I probably naturally would just go to bed at like 3 a.m. every day and wake up at noon, and feel like I wasted a whole day and just not really have a lot of motivation. That's just kind of naturally the pattern that I fall into. That's where the discipline part came in, where it took me a while, but it was, okay, what time do we have to wake up in order to have enough thinking time for writing, in order to have enough time to journal and feel not rushed and not stressed? What do I have to do? I started waking up a little bit earlier every day, and then it sort of became easier to think about, okay, what else would make me feel creative? Like, what makes me feel inspired? And I realized that whenever my body feels good, whenever I feel energetic, or I feel like I have dopamine flowing to my brain. So what allows me that? Oh, exercise allows me that. Oh, yoga yoga and stretching allows me to kind of process my feelings because I feel like I hold so much tension in my body. In order to feel good, like I needed to stretch and do yoga and this and that. So I was like, okay, like that's something I need to implement in my morning routine here. So I realized that exercise, stretching, these things were actually really important to my creative process, and it allowed me to feel. I'm sure some of you have read The Artist's Way, where she talks about morning pages. Basically, it's a method that write down your stream of consciousness and fill 3 pages of a journal in the morning with just whatever you want to write. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be anything. You could just be writing about the dream you had, or how you don't want to be writing right now, or how you're tired. You could be writing about anything, and how that process is kind of supposed to naturally help that creative muscle in your head. But that requires discipline. When I read about that, I was like, wow, that would really help me, as a writer. Journaling in the morning, journaling really helps me, but I don't really feel like doing it most of the time. So that required me to pull from that more masculine energy to make sure, hey, even if I don't feel like it, every morning I'm just gonna write out my stream of consciousness and see what happens. And I realized that started to fuel my creative process. All of these things are not stuff that I wanted to do. Like, I would have rather just laid in bed and then gone about my day. But taking the time and waking up a few hours early to make sure that I get that morning walk in, or to make sure that I do that yoga session, or that I write those 3 pages, gives me the foundation to be able to create. Or else I am just feeling rushed, or like I don't have enough time. But like we always have enough time. It's just how we structure it and what we want to prioritize. Things that I didn't think would play into it, like my diet or cooking. Like, I realized that I feel creative and inspired whenever I do cook, and whenever my body does feel good. Like, I have a really sensitive digestive system that I've worked really hard on healing, which I will talk about in another video. But like, when my stomach hurts and I'm having a diarrhea attack, like, I'm not gonna be writing a poem. I really need to take care of myself and take care of my tummy and make sure that I'm eating right in order to create. And then it kind of goes into, okay, well, what do I have to make sure I'm doing for that? I have to make sure that I'm creating a grocery list, and I'm getting groceries that I can use to cook food that makes me feel good. So it's like all of these questions sort of lead to more. Then you realize how to structure your life around creation and around creativity. Things that I didn't think correlated to creating art did. It's taken me a long time to find routines and structures and whatever and build that. It's worth it. The things that I didn't feel like doing, like exercising or cooking for myself, relying on that more structured, rigid, masculine force within myself allowed me to be able to utilize the more creative, fun, relaxed, feminine part of myself. And I think it's really all just about finding that balance. I read a really incredible book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he talks a lot about how humans are not supposed to be doing things out of our own willpower. We don't really work from trying to, I have to do this. I'm forcing myself to do this. Like, we just don't work like that, at least not consistently. We can do it for a few days, but it doesn't really become a consistent habit. We work well off of reward, and we work well off of knowing that we're going to get something. I have to kind of make sure that I remember what it is that I'm doing it for, and then I feel happy because like I remember, I feel really energetic after I go on a walk. And like, sometimes we just don't feel like doing it. Like, sometimes I just don't feel like doing those things, but I know that in order to produce things that I love and that I'm proud of, I have to be in a state that allows me to do that. I create some of the best stuff when I am sad or miserable or depressed. Like, I'm not really talking about emotion necessarily. I'm more so just talking about when I am creating enough time and structure in my life. It allows me to have enough time to process those feelings and process those emotions. Because if I don't have that, then I'm not going to be processing any emotions, let alone writing about them or creating anything. Even though it felt kind of counterintuitive to put a lot of my energy and time into creating habits and routines, it really benefited me when it came to making art, which is what I wanted to be doing. So it kind of felt silly to be focusing so much on like, what time are you waking up in the morning? But that stuff really paid off and allowed me the room to think and create. Some people might think it's just really contradictory and weird, but in my calendar I have chunks of time for thinking, and then I have chunks of time for getting inspired. Like I schedule time to, like, of course inspiration strikes naturally all throughout life and living, but sometimes like I do want to be producing new ideas or come up with new plans or come up with new visual inspirations. That has just shown me that, like, even in my busy life of making money, going to school, whatever it is, I still have the time to create. It's just a matter of generating that time for myself and relying on the discipline within me so that the creative, free-flowing part of me can thrive. Structure is not always a bad thing, and I personally used to have the belief that making art, you shouldn't have structure, you shouldn't have routine. Like, that's so opposite of having an artist's mind in life, but it's not. And I'm sorry, but like in this day and age, this is the analytical. I have a very emotional side of myself, but this is the analytical side that managed somebody who was very difficult to manage for a few years, and I had to learn the skills of executing an idea and bringing it into reality. And it's like, if you want to make a living off of your art or you want to take it very seriously, you have to prioritize it and learn how to do so and learn how to fit it into your life in a way that's realistic and makes sense to you. So that's that. What a day it's been. I went to go get my hair done. These are some clips. I will insert them now. I got my hair done by my friend Brooke. Look how cute this mug is. My bone broth is in here from this morning. I didn't finish it. And do I want to drink cold bone broth? That's the question. I just went to a little open house. Now it's Valentine's Day, so I'm off to go do my little Valentine's plans.
Have you ever swam in here? Nice.